see anybody else. All right. Okay, so we have, all right, so here's what we're working on. In these columns, we're going to jot down details from the poem that tell you something about the characters in the poem. Okay? So this is a strategy that gets into deeper reading. So we talk about when we read,
Excuse
we
me?
want to look at deeper reading.
A calculator.
What do you need?
Calculator.
Calculators are in here, remember?
No.
Top one. See where it says rulers? There's calculators and rulers. That's all our math stuff in there. You might have to pull it all the way out. You're okay. You can sit it in the floor. That's what we do sometimes. You got it?
Yeah.
Good job. Is Ali here yet? Can he come?
Oh no.
No, not yet? Okay. All right. So remember when we underlined these words, we talked about how we liked these kind of words. So what we're looking at, let's start with the man. Okay? Let's start with the man. We talked about things that we know about the man. All right? So I want you to take a couple minutes, okay, with your pencil. And I want you to circle the words that show things that we know about the man. Okay? You might need to read through again, right? And I'm going to read through and I'm going to look at things I know about the man. Good morning, Eileen. Yes. How are you today? Good. There you go. You got it? Good job. All right. So here's what we know about the man, right? We know he was a big man. All right. So we write that down. We know he was a big man. What else do we know? He was tall. He was God-fearing. Do you know what God-fearing means? Tell me what you think. What do you think about the word fearing? Good job. So if someone's afraid of God, what do you think that is? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? That they're God-fearing? God is fearing would be a bad thing, maybe? Maybe. Here they say the word good, right? It's good. God-fearing man. So they put good and God-fearing right next to each other. What do we think about that? The word God-fearing means that he has a good fear of his God. So that means he does what he wants his God to do, right? So that his God wouldn't punish him, or, right? It's kind of like you have a good fear of your parents. Right? That's a good fear though, right? Like you don't want to upset them or disappoint them.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's a good fear, right? There's good fears, right? That's a good fear. We don't want to upset our parents. We don't want to disappoint them or do things that make them unhappy. So that's what God fearing is. We don't want to disappoint our God. We don't want to upset them or make them unhappy. Right? So sometimes we see the word fear and we go, it's not a nice word, but sometimes it can be a good word. Okay? So we know a lot about him. Is there anything else we know about him? So let's look at two more things. Down here, right, we know good because he's God-fearing, so that means he's a good man, right? And then down here, it says he's not a man for farming. So that means he's not a farmer. Yeah. So he's not a farmer, right? Yeah. The word not, right? So he's not a farmer. So instead of being good at farming, what does that mean? Yeah, if He's not. What does the word not mean? Can you tell me what not means? Have you heard that word before?
Teacher, sorry the interruption. Anyone who has order forms for the moms, please take those to Mrs. Carroll at this time. All order forms for moms need to go to Mrs. Carroll at this time.
Good. It is kind of an opposite word, right? So he's the opposite. So instead of being a good farmer, he's a bad farmer, right? Because he's not a farmer. So instead of being a good farmer, he's not a farmer. And we know that because of this detail. See our detail? The fields are cluttered with boulders and leaky barns. Oh, that means he's not doing a very good job, right? So sometimes we look at the details, right? And these are new words. Some of these are new words, right? Like cluttered, right? Or boulders. So some of these are words we might not know. Which one of these are words that we don't know in this passage? I want you to read this first paragraph, and I want you to mark words that you don't know. Is cluttered a word we didn't know? Because you have to okay. So in this first paragraph, any words that you don't know, I want you to mark them, underline them. So dusty, cluttered, boulders, leaky, right?
I don't know. I want to be like a what kind
You were good. That was the right track. So you know this means what kind of barn, right? You just don't know exactly what leaky barn is. Just it's a kind of barn. Good. So you knew that was a describer, right? That was describing the barn. Good job. All right. So these you all know. Broken dishes, right? And a long bed, right? And a Bible. Do you know that word? So we know that that has to do with his religion because he has a Bible. Hi, are you looking for the recycle bin?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there anything in
Is
here?
it empty?
No.
I was going to say, I don't think it is. I think we've been putting some things in it.
Yeah.
I think we've been good. Thank you. And so we look for the details. So if I said to pick one of those details, which one's your favorite? These big, tall, God-fearing, or non-farming? That he's God-fearing, so we might pick Bible to prove that he's God-fearing. So that would be my detail. Let's do the woman. Let's write down our words. Let's describe our woman. All right, let's circle our words for the woman. Okay, that's okay. That's those the two are marked, right? Good job. So we know that the woman, right? Let's write this down. We know the woman, she lived with him. Good job. This is good job. And then I marked only one more, but it's kind of a, yeah, do you kind of see why I marked that? They said it's lonely here. So then I maybe thought that means that she's lonely. You know what the word lonely means? Yeah, so I kind of marked lonely. I also know that money is scarce. Do you know that word scarce? Do you remember us talking about that? Yeah, so scarce means not a lot. So This phrase, this is called an inference. Do you remember the word infer in English class? Do you remember that word? Infer. That's okay. See, 'cause this is there's a cricket. He's gonna crick in my room. No, no, cricket, no, go outside. You're gonna cricket here and oh dang. It's just a cricket, but you know what they do, right? They make that sound. Eek, 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 and then he's gonna crick in my room all day. Who can pick crickets up?
Okay, and
What's that? He wanted a cricket. You know those little bugs that make that noise? Eek, 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 eek.
Oh,
Yeah, and then he's gonna make that noise and drive me crazy.
Sorry, I don't like
I know. Can you get him for me? They don't bite.
that. They bite.
It's like a grasshopper. No, they don't bite.
They bite.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Crickets don't bite. Will you get him out of here for me, please? Take him outside.
Ah! Oh my god.
They just scream like a girl.
Oh, here you go.
Did he go under the door?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
Now he'll go over to her room and squeak in her room.
I want to open.
Yeah, Miss Jessica's room. He's going to be squeaking over there. They make squeaky noises, crickets. They go squeak, 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 and they drive you crazy. This word, infer, it means to guess.
I remember that.
Yeah, do you remember that now?
Yeah.
You like guesses. Guess is kind of nice, isn't it? Because there's nothing wrong with a good guess, even if your guess is wrong. So we just make guesses. So I kind of guessed here because money, there's not a lot of money. So then that makes me guess that they must be what? What word would describe her there? Do you know what the word is when you don't have a word?
And,
Do you know what that word is?
I'm not with English.
You ever seen this word? Poor.
Yeah.
Right? They might be poor. Right? Yeah, because there's not a lot of money. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be poor. And they also put rags in the windows. So this is nowhere in the paragraph. Right? See up here they say he's God-fearing and big and tall, but down here they don't use the words poor for her, or they really don't even use the word lonely to describe her, but we could guess those words for her. We do know that she lived with him and she had a child. We do know those are describing her, but these, she is harder to guess than he is. He's easy to guess. She's harder to guess.
Yeah.
Because most of the things about her are inferred. Okay, so sometimes when we read stories, they don't tell us outright. They don't say, hey, this is what you should know about the character. Instead,